Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. In this video, I want to talk about an article that was released on November 13th, 2024. It's titled, Meghan Markle Doesn't Like to Work, Says Man in Charge of Harry Visa. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are asked to brace themselves ahead of visa shakeup. So let's go through the article. I'm going blind into this, so I haven't read it. And then let's see if there's any relationship to narcissism, because in my opinion and allegedly, I believe Meghan Markle is a malignant narcissist. I am coming from the standpoint of someone that has been around narcissists all her life. My stepmom actually displayed a lot of the same behavior that Meghan Markle displays, and I believe my stepmom is a malignant narcissist. And also, I've been romantically involved. I married one and eventually divorced one. So let's get into it. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's future in the U.S. is deeply dependent on Donald Trump and his team. The new president of the United States is capable of denying Prince Harry the visa to the country with the help of his state secretary. So before we move on, I think this is fake news. Donald Trump has expressed that he doesn't like Harry and Meghan. He doesn't like Meghan at all. He's like flat out said he doesn't like Meghan, and he doesn't like how they treated the Queen. He thought that it was appalling. But I also don't think, and I think Eric Trump, his son, mentioned it, that they're not going to do anything. I mean, they have so much bigger fish to fry, in my opinion. So I don't know that they will actually inhibit him from continuing his visa or keeping his visa. I do think, however, that there is a high likelihood that they might release the documents that have been kept secret. So I'm going to say right now, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how all of that works. So if I am completely misinformed, I apologize, but this is what I believe will happen. While the name of the secretary has not been decided yet, it is conjectured that the job could go to Rick Grenell, the former U.S. ambassador to Germany, who was also acting director of national intelligence in Mr. Trump's first term, the Mail reports. Rick, who made a bold remark during Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2021. Meghan Markle is the classic American woke progressive. She doesn't want to do the work, but is outraged she doesn't get the freebies. Oh, wow. The article continues. Meanwhile, the Duchess of Sussex, who has largely been at the back end this year, what does that mean, is promoting her lifestyle brand titled American Riviera Orchard with gift bags. An insider tells Closer magazine, Meghan has been meticulously curating gift packages filled with a selection of all her favorite things, and of course, plenty of her jam to send to the who's who of Hollywood. So I actually did a video about this yesterday, talking about how Meghan's 3 main motivations are fame, power, and money, and this is just a financial grab that she's doing. So this is not something that's coming out of the goodness of her heart. This is something that is to try to generate revenue, in my opinion. I'll put a link to that video in the comments. So now let's try to unravel this behavior that's been described, getting upset when she doesn't receive freebies and also a lack of interest in work, and see how this aligns with characteristics that are associated with narcissism. I think the first reason is because narcissists believe that they're entitled to special treatment because of how wonderful they are. I believe that they expect to receive rewards and attention simply because of who they are. Meghan not receiving freebies will make her frustrated, and she'll feel betrayed. She'll feel that she's been wronged, as though she's been denied something that she absolutely deserves. I think another great example of this for Meghan specifically is Tiaragate, allegedly. Okay, so this story is allegedly, and I believe it was in Tom Bower's book, and there's been articles written about it. But during her wedding planning, she really wanted this one tiara, and the Queen originally allegedly said yes, and then it was discovered that the tiara had already been promised to Princess Eugenie. And there was also some controversy that may have been tied to the tiara, that it would be controversial for Meghan to wear. And I don't know exactly why that is. If you all do, please drop it in the comments. So Meghan felt completely outraged and wronged. And I believe this is the first time that I ever heard the phrase, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets, that Harry has said. This is the first time within narratives or stories that I've read about Harry and Meghan. That's where I've heard it the first time. Let me know if you heard it somewhere else. And we've all heard that about 5 months after her own wedding, when she was attending Princess Eugenie's wedding, Harry and Meghan announced their pregnancy. So that, in my opinion, that is not something that you can claim ignorance. It's not the right thing to do. It's absolutely trying to steal someone else's attention, and there's no way that they didn't know that. Like, I mean, maybe Harry did. I mean, you can't even say that. Like, Harry needs to know how rude that is. He must have grown up with etiquette courses, right? Oh my goodness. So awful. So a second reason is this dependency on external validation. Narcissists on the outside, they look like they're incredibly confident, but they actually have a really fragile ego. So they really rely on external validation to feel better about themselves. And this external validation could include getting material items as gifts, symbols of prestige, and these things can help them affirm their self-worth. Receiving these designer items or exclusive gifts are a form of validation, reinforcing this perception of where they are in life. Another thing that could be happening here is that narcissists often, they prefer what things appear versus the effort that is required. So narcissists might focus on the appearance of success rather than the effort or hard work required to achieve it. We've seen many examples of Meghan doing this, and just off the top of my head, the first one I think of are all of her humanitarian works pre-Harry. And I am paraphrasing things that I read in Tom Bower's book, Revenge. But in that book, whenever she would do these humanitarian trips, most of the time, or some of the time allegedly, she would take a group of photographers with her. She would pack a suitcase full of clothes, and then she would go out on, she couldn't be found when it was time to do the work, because she would be out doing photo shoots and doing outfit changes in order to give this appearance of her being a humanitarian. If you can think of other examples of Meghan doing this, please leave it in the comments. Narcissists also rely on immediate impact. They want to see their success immediately. So when there is something that requires sustained effort or work, and they're not immediately rewarded or recognized, they don't want to do those things. They would rather do things that are quick, that get a quick reward. So, for example, Meghan putting in the work for American Riviera Orchard, she's just not doing it. It takes a lot more work to get that brand off the floor, or whatever, off the ground, whatever the phrase is, and she really hasn't made an effort. I mean, she never even confirmed that she could use the name. And I say this in other videos, but I literally, before I made this account, I made sure the email address was available, the YouTube was available, and the Twitter was available. And I'm nowhere near like a business person at all. It's almost logical and common sense that you would do that. But I think it just takes so much effort on her part to get this business running. She's just tired of it. It hasn't been an immediate success. She hasn't seen all of these followers on her Instagram page. I think she's disabled comments, so she can't even get feedback. She doesn't want to hear feedback, honestly. That's why her comments are disabled. She doesn't even want to hear it. She doesn't want to be around negativity, as she says so often. Narcissists also have a view of relationships as transactional, so they expect others, including brand names, to give to them in exchange for association or visibility. If the agreement isn't upheld, they might feel betrayed or unfairly treated. And we know this is basically what Meghan does when she's merching things. She believes just associating with her should be enough to get sales through the roof, right? And I mean, there's so many examples of this exactly, of Meghan doing that. The first one I can think of off the top of my head, and I believe this was in Tom Bower's Revenge, is that she would have her assistants calling brands and asking them to send her freebies. And in the royal family, they're not allowed to do that. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but she was totally out of line for asking for that. And actually, I'm rereading Spare right now, and Harry describes this, but Harry says he's so deluded. He is saying that the assistants asked and they stole the items and kept them from Meghan. Now, please don't mark me on my words. I could be describing that completely wrong. It's been a long day for me. But where would he get that story from? from Meghan. So this is just how she manipulates things that happen. She very much was the one asking for the items. And okay, let's give you another. If you don't know proof of character, I'll give you another one, also from Tom Bauer's book. So when Meghan was doing her second photo shoot with Reitmans, I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. I know some people have tried to correct me, and I keep forgetting which one is the right one, so I apologize. So when she was doing that photo shoot, she had like went through the budget so bad. She created a lot of delays and a lot of problems, and towards the end of it, they just wanted to get it done because the longer that it took to shoot the commercial, the more money they were losing. So during this campaign, she asked for a pair of beige Aquazzura shoes, and they were just like, you know what, let's just buy those shoes, let's get it over with. So they did. They bought it for her, and if you look at the ad, you can't actually see her shoes, which is totally insane to me that they bought these shoes. But you know what's even more insane? Later, when the shoot had finished, the people that were filming it looked at each other and they're like, where are the shoes? And they realized Meghan Markle walked off with them, allegedly, and this is in Tom Bauer's book. Okay, so yeah, so this is proof of character, guys. Like, this is who she is. All right, so I'm going to end the video here. I'm curious to know what you all think. Did you find this interesting? Did you think, who do you think, paid for this article to be out, if you know what I mean? Or do you think it was just unbiased reporting? Allegedly. So leave that in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions. And if this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I try really hard to respond to as many comments as possible. So I'm sorry if I miss your comment. I really appreciate that you're here. You all have no idea how validating it is to see that you're watching the videos, because sometimes I feel like I'm just talking, right? Like all I'm doing is talking, and just based on my childhood, I've always been like told, I don't know, like I'm not good enough and all of that. So when I find people that are interested in my experiences and that these experiences could help other people learn or avoid falling into the same types of traps that I did, it's just so satisfying. So I appreciate that you're all here. If this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all soon. Goodbye.